Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jay, and today I want to go over some things that I've taken away from the garden in 2022. It is pretty much the end of the season. I'm sitting in front of my Brussels sprouts because it's one of the only things left in the garden that is green and looking good, and so it's making a lovely backdrop for me. And I've got my chickie girls here with me. And I made some notes of some things, and I just kind of wanted to go over it with you and tell you some major takeaways that I've taken from this year, 2022. Now, this is my first year. Well, it's my first year for a lot of things, if I'm being honest, but it's the first year that I've really majorly tried to garden and have really focused on it, invested in it, put a lot of my energy and time towards it, and tried to really do things properly. Not that you necessarily need to do things properly to have a garden, but obviously, you know, the more time and energy you put into something, the better it's going to do for you usually. And so I did the raised garden beds. I really tried to make sure I had healthy soil, and I weeded, I pruned, I fertilized, I did the things. And it was a very, very productive year for me. I'm very happy with the garden and how it's done, and I've learned a lot. I will say, though, that with this being my first year majorly gardening, really giving it a real shot, and also with it being my first year as a YouTuber, I definitely kept it safe. I grew things that I've grown before, that I knew I could grow. A few fails for sure, but for the most part it did well because, well, I kept it very beginner level. And next year, which is fine, and it was a good thing to do, I think, kind of dip my toes in, and you know, the fact that I had such a productive year, I'm leaving 2022 feeling very motivated and very empowered, like, yes, I can do this. I am a gardener, I grow things, you know, but next year I definitely want to up my game. I want to grow more. I want to grow a larger variety. I want my garden to be more diverse. And I have a lot of things that I'm going to do differently. So before I talk anything about that, I want to talk about some major takeaways from this year. And I'm going to start by talking about some crops that I'm definitely going to grow again. And I'm going to start with the flowers. I'm definitely going to grow cosmos again, dahlias, zinnias, sunflowers, celotias, asters, and poppies. All of those did really well. They were so beautiful. They filled the space really well. I liked it because the poppies gave me color in the spring, but the cosmos gave me color in the fall, and I enjoyed all of them. I'd say my least favorite out of all of those were probably the asters. They were just okay. I mean, they were very pretty, but I think I'm probably going to grow them again because they did so well in a vase, and I have really enjoyed having cut flowers in the house, so I think I'll grow them for that reason. For veggies, there are not very many that I'm married to. I've got the black cherry tomatoes, and let me go on record by saying the black cherry tomatoes from Baker Creek are my VIP seed of the year. Absolutely, thoroughly impressed with them. Wonderful production, great resistance to the drought and disease, pests. I have really no issues with them at all. And the most flavorful cherry tomato I've ever eaten in my entire life. I'm not being dramatic. Will always grow black cherry tomatoes. Thoroughly impressed with them. The Kentucky Wonder green beans, really happy with them. They did great. I will likely grow them again. And then I can't remember offhand what variety they were, but the sugar snap peas that I grew this spring, I really liked them a lot. They produced for me well into the summertime, and they were delicious. So yummy. So I have plenty of those seeds left. I also saved many of them. I'll be growing that same variety again next year. I just can't remember off the top what that variety is. For herbs, I'm going to grow the same variety of chamomile again. It was abundant. It didn't produce as long into the fall as I wish it would have, but when it was producing, I mean, just flowers everywhere. They were so fragrant and delicious in my tea. I was very happy with them. That's not to say that I won't add other chamomile varieties, but I will be growing the one that I have, and it's the Zloty Lan. No. Here, come here. Don't do that. No, come here. I need to clip my chicken's wings because they can fly over the fence. And I really don't feel like chasing chickens today. but I just shake the bag of treats and they come back. So that's what I did. Still on the topic of herbs, my mint. Now here's the thing about the mint. I don't think I started any of them from seed. I think I bought all of them. I don't think I was planning on growing mint. And then I went to the farmer's market and they had a plant sale, and I think I just felt compelled to. And that was probably God nudging me in the direction of my future, because this year I discovered mint chamomile tea, and it is hands down so far, with my limited palate, my favorite combination of herbs for herbal tea. And Benny, stop, don't eat that. That's for the chickens. Let them have their fly larva, okay? Can you just not for a second? Can you just chill? Can you just, don't lick me with your chicken mouth. Okay, okay. Oh my gosh. Basically, I discovered herbal tea this year. I drink a cup of tea every single day now with plants that I have planted, or... Do you have poop butt? I smell poop. Benny, go lay down. Go lay down. Lay down. Lay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. You're very cute. That is limited to, currently, mint, pineapple mint, strawberry mint, spearmint, chamomile. I'm all out of fresh. It's not producing anymore, but I dehydrated a lot. And red raspberry leaves from my raspberry bushes. I harvested a lot of them, dehydrated them, but I also do still have some fresh that I occasionally pick off and put in my tea. I do have dehydrated hibiscus leaves, but I purchased them from somewhere, and that's it. Those are what I'm using to make my herbal teas, and I drink a cup every single day. I am absolutely fascinated with the medicinal properties of herbal teas, and gosh, they aid in so many things: anxiety relief, sleep, digestion, immunity. It's amazing. Gosh, and so I still have a lot of research to do. And I'm actually going to talk more about this later in the video, but mint and chamomile, hands down, I will be growing again. The Zloty Lan, I will keep in the garden. And mint, I'm just going to see where the wind blows me and see what happens. I will look at starting my own from seed and see what the different varieties are, but I probably will buy some starts again next year from the farmer's market. Worked out really well for me. So next I want to talk about things that I'm not going to be growing again. I want to start with the flowers again. I'm not going to grow bachelor buttons next year. They were fine, but they weren't spectacular, and I think I could fill that space with something different. I don't think I'm going to grow the blue disc African daisies next year, and I think I actually have one right here I can show you. This is them. They're very pretty. I like the underside of them more. They're gorgeous, but they don't have any scent. I didn't find that the pollinators particularly loved them. I mean, I saw them on there sometimes, but not flocking them like they did some of my other flowers. And I like them. They were actually the flower that I was the most excited for this year, and I'm so blessed that I got to enjoy them and experience them, and they're very beautiful. But I really want to, I'm in such early stages of my gardening journey, career. I have years and years left, hopefully, God willing, to experience a garden, and I want to try different things. I want to experiment. I want to swap things out. The other reason that I think I might not grow them again is because they did terrible in a vase. They really did not hold up. I think I had like a day tops, and then they were, flopped over, wilted. So I think I'm gonna swap them out for something different. I don't know what yet, but I just wanted to mention I don't think I'm gonna grow those next year for those reasons. For veggies, I'm not gonna grow the cucumbers that I grew. I couldn't tell you what they were. I think they were just some old burpee seed, but they were slicers. Yeah, slicers, I think. But next, I think, I like cucumbers, they're fine, but I think I'm going to do a lot more pickles next year, so I want to grow a pickling cucumber. I might throw in one plant of like just slicer just to enjoy, because I do like making tzatziki sauce and things like that. So maybe, but I'm not going to do as many of the slicer cucumbers next year as I did this year. The Sweetheart cherry tomato will not grow again. It did fine. They were very cute, and they produced well. They held up well. They're still producing now. There's still a few on there. They were flavorless in my opinion, and I have a hard time believing it was me because they're right next to the black cherry tomatoes. Same sun exposure, same water, same soil, same everything, and the black cherries were so good. So I think I'm going to replace them with the Sun Gold. I was actually between the Sweetheart and the Sun Gold. Tried the Sweetheart, not really a big fan. So I think I'm gonna try the Sun Gold next year. The banana peppers, which I grew a Greek pepperoncini from Burpee. Are pepperoncinis and banana peppers the same thing? I'm not sure, but they were okay. They had good flavor, but they were kind of puny, and I don't know if that was me or if it was the variety, but I think I'm gonna try something different. Onions. The onions that I grew from seed did okay. I think I started them too late, which was just because my garden beds weren't assembled in time. I think I would have started them earlier. That might have something to do with it. And so if I have any seeds left, I can't remember what the variety was from what I'd planted this year, I'll probably start some. But I already bought onion seeds from Haas Tools, and it was a candy onion. I think it was a yellow or a white onion. I'm not sure. I don't really have much space to do like major onion growing enough to like get me through winter. So I think I'm mostly just going to try and grow onions to save in the freezer. And I think that this will accomplish that fine. Now I wanted to talk about some things that I'm indifferent on, and those would be my bell peppers, my Roma tomatoes, and my zucchini. And when I say indifferent, I just mean they were fine. The varieties that I grew this year were okay. I mean, they produced fine. I had bullnose peppers, bell peppers from Baker Creek, and they were good. They were tasty. They were cute. I got a few different colors out of them. The zucchini, can't remember what that variety was. And then I did Martino's Roma tomato, also from Baker Creek, I think, and those were good. I mean, they nice little fruits, and they produced well, and I got plenty off of them. Good flavor. Not a lot of liquid content with like a normal Roma. But when I say I'm indifferent, I just mean, you know, when I get that catalog, if something strikes me, if I see a different Roma tomato variety, I'm not married to the Martino's Roma. I will replace it if I find something that strikes my interest, or perhaps I'll just decrease the amount of the Martino's and grow a second variety as well. Same with the zucchini, and same with, what did I say? The bell peppers. I'm indifferent. I'll see what I see, and if something strikes me or interests me, perhaps we'll switch it up a little bit. But if I stay on those same varieties, they were good. I liked them. I'm saving the best for last. Things that I'm adding in 2023. So I'll start with the easy stuff. I'm adding jalapenos for sure. I'm adding tomatillos. I'm adding garlic. I already have it. I got my garlic from Haas Tools as well. I pre-ordered it, and it came the other day. And so I am going to try and grow garlic next year. I wish that I would have this year, but I was just trying to not bite off more than I could chew. But I wish I would have tried and could have gotten some of my own garlic. So we're going to give that a shot. I'm adding 2 more blackberry bushes to the bushes that I have along the fence. I'm growing celery and cantaloupe. Those were the 2 things that my husband requested. And so, yeah, sure. I mean, if there's something that he wants to get out of the garden, absolutely. So we're going to do that. All right. I've mentioned this in another video, I can't remember which one. Next year, I'm not gonna do as much construction because my main garden structure exists now. I've got the one in front of the fireplace that you've seen, and then this main compound behind me. And I'm really happy with those. And that's a lot of space for me in my 1/4 acre backyard. However, I am adding 2 more raised garden beds. I don't know where. Don't lay on my notebook. Give me that. Lay. Look, you got poop on my notebook. Oh, you're gonna hit my camera. Please don't. It is a circus around here, a literal circus. I should charge at the door. Tickets. Ticket sales to get into the circus. I gotta clean your butt. You got poop in your butt. Anybody else with an Aussie have that problem? Poop butt? Okay. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. And I don't know, because this makes like a horseshoe shape, so I don't know if I'm going to do something cool with them or if I'm just going to plop a couple of raised garden beds somewhere. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I know I'm adding two. One of them is going to be an herb garden, and the other one's going to be a tea garden, and I am very, very excited about it. I am feeling passionate about both of those things. Herbs because of the cooking aspect of this channel, and tea because honestly I feel led. I really feel like God put tea in my life for a reason. I don't know, I feel so led in that direction, and I really want tea to be a part of my future, a part of my brand, a part of my career, I don't know what it looks like yet, but I know that I feel called to learn more about it and to dabble in it. And when I say tea for now, I mean herbal teas, because the actual tea plants, I need to learn more and see if it's feasibly even something I can grow in my climate. So we'll talk more about that in the way future, but I mean herbal teas. So in the herb garden, I'm going to be growing your typical basil and oregano like I did this year. I'm also going to grow sage, rosemary, dill, and cilantro. Now there are potentially some others that I'm going to grow as well, but I don't want to give away all of my secrets right away, because we will certainly be discussing this next year as well. Now for the tea garden, I'm going to keep, because I'm pretty sure chamomile is a perennial. I think it'll come back next year from what I've read. So where I have it now, I'm going to keep it there as well. I'm happy to have it in more places than one, but I will plant new chamomile in the tea bed. Same variety, new variety, we shall see. But I'm also going to add lavender. I will not be starting it from seed. I will just buy it at the farmer's market. Lemon balm, and I'm going to add some hibiscus to the property. Whether that's going to be in the tea bed or somewhere else, I don't know yet, but it's beautiful, it's fragrant, and it's delicious, so I will be adding some hibiscus. Now there are many more tea crops that I will be adding, but again, I don't want to give it all away right away, so I figured I would just mention a few and kind of tease the idea of adding 2 more garden beds, one for herbs, one for tea. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. Last 2 things, you guys. Elderberries, which you already knew about. I got 2 elderberry bushes from the farmer's market a couple weekends ago. I talked about it in that video, that haul, and I'm very excited to have them on my homestead. So you will be seeing those in the future. I'm going to put them in large pots in the springtime and keep them in pots, because they can get quite large and I don't think it's appropriate for my small backyard. So I'm going to keep them in pots. And the last thing, Tom has given me spoken permission to add apple trees to our humble suburban garden. Now, here's the thing about that. I said it in passing. I was like, can I have apple trees? Just kind of being funny, because I say outlandish things like, can we get llamas? And he usually says no, just being a little turd. But I said, can we get apple trees? And he goes, yeah. I said, really? He was like, yeah, my parents had an apple tree when I was growing up. It'll be nice if we get an apple tree. I was like, well, if we get an apple tree, we're likely going to get 2 apple trees. He was like, that's all right. And he was like, where are you going to put it? I was like, I don't know yet. So as soon as he said yes and I processed it, I don't know if it sat well with me. I'm not sure. I really try to listen to my gut and listen to God and feel the pull, you know. Am I being pulled towards doing this, or am I a little hesitant? Am I being pulled towards not kind of doing it? And the fact that as soon as I had the yes, I felt hesitant made me wonder if perhaps it's not the right thing to do at this property. This is not our forever home. Someday I'm claiming it in the name of our good Lord Jesus Christ. I will have my farm. And so is it the right thing to do to add apple trees to this property? I'm not sure. So we will be exploring that more. I think that feeling will become a bit more definitive for me when it's time to actually take action and do it, and that time is not now. So in the spring, early spring, we will revisit this and see if perhaps we will add apple trees to our property. I someday very much want to have apple trees. The question is, do I have them here? I'm not sure about that. All right, guys, will you stop stepping on my notebook? This is where we're at with the notebook. Paw prints on it. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I wrote this all out before I started filming. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. I'm gonna plant my sunflowers a lot more intensely, closer together, and more of them next year. My spacing was too sparse. My raspberries and blackberries should be a lot farther along next year. It's going to be some of those berries' third year or fourth year. I think it must be, it might very well be fourth year. I'm trying to think. I was in college when I planted them. I was in that program for 2 years. Benny Blue. And I've been out of the program for 2 years, so maybe 4 years. So that's exciting because I would like to do some jams and whatnot with my own berries. What else? Yeah, guys, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to shopping for Cosmo, Dahlia, and Zinnia varieties because I planted them all this year, but very basic. Beautiful, but nothing, you know, to write home about. And so there are just so many options and varieties and colors, and so I'm really excited to shop around and pick out some really beautiful ones. Also, and we'll talk about this more in the spring when I start buying seeds, I want to add some fragrance to the garden. My cosmos were really the only thing that had a little bit of scent to it. Obviously my lilies that come back every year, but I have those for such a short amount of time. I want to come outside and just smell floral and fragrance and some beautiful, beautiful smells. I want that sense of mine to be excited as well, you know, not just my sight. So I am going to shop around. I'm going to be looking for the word fragrant when I'm looking for flower varieties, and I'm hoping to add some flowers that have good smell. So if you have anything that you'd recommend, or if you grow anything that you just love, it just smells so good, please let me know in the comments, because I definitely want to add some of that to my humble garden, my humble backyard garden. So anyway, guys, I guess that pretty much wraps it up. I just wanted to stop in and say, you know, I started out pretty easy this year. I wanted to ease my way in and do, you know, I didn't want to bite off more than I could chew, because if you have too many failures in one year, it can be very discouraging. And I wanted to feel very excited and motivated to tackle next year's garden. And so I feel that way. I think I really pulled that off, but I'm ready to add a bit more. I'm ready to challenge myself. I'm ready to really grow my skills and, you know, my repertoire of things that I have grown and can grow. And so, of course, I'm taking you along on that journey. I'm kind of letting you know what's in my mind, what my thoughts are, because you've been with me this entire year, and it's been amazing. I am going to make another video. I think it will likely come out after this one. Actually, let me back up and say that October 29th will make 1 year of me actively uploading on my YouTube channel my cooking, baking, gardening, food preservation, homesteading videos. I've had my channel longer than that. I started out doing like food reviews and talking about things like that, and it just ended up not being, I enjoyed it, but I felt called to do this, and so, you know, it kind of transitioned into what it is now, and I started down that path. I posted that first video. It was a cheesy baked tortellini video, and I posted it October 29th. So I'm going to consider October 29th my 1 year, my yearly anniversary for my YouTube channel, and it's October something now. So on October 29th, I'm going to film a video talking about my year as a homesteader, and, you know, some of the things I've learned, not just gardening, but just how it's transformed me as a person, how it has transformed my health, how it's transformed my life, how things are different for my family, how my everyday life is different, some skills that I've learned, some talents that I've discovered I had lying in wait for me to use them, how it's grown my relationship with Jesus, and, you know, what I have learned, discovered that I want it to look like in the future. Lots of different topics that I want to discuss. So I'm going to do that on October 29th. So look out for that. And I'm also going to film a first year homesteaders pantry tour and show you how that's evolved in the year that I have been doing this, just to help set some realistic expectations, because, you know, it's not going to be, you know, if you want to see a really impressive pantry, check out Becky at Acre Homestead, check out the Seasonal Homestead, that family. Those are some really impressive pantries, but they've been building them for years, and they've got, you know, a lot of time under their belts. Not that it's any less impressive, it's not, but I want to really realistically show you what a first-year homesteader's pantry looks like so that you can understand, you know, if you only have a few jars on your pantry shelves, you're still winning, you're still succeeding, you're still growing, and you're still doing it. So that video is going to come out shortly as well. I still have to film that one. So yeah, I'm just kind of feeling some type of way at the end of this gardening season. We're going into, you know, we're heavily into fall now, and I'm feeling so grateful and I'm so at peace. Thankfully, thank you, the good Lord Jesus Christ, for helping me feel at peace with the end of this season. And it has been so special to me and has provided me with so much. And so, you know, I just want to share that with you and show you, and that's how I'm going to do it, what I just told you you can expect. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so that you can see those videos, and hit the bell so that you'll be notified when they go up. And of course, you're also going to be getting a lot of baking content, cooking content. I have some special projects that I'm going to tackle and bring to you because, you know, I'm not going to garden as much in the wintertime being in upstate New York. So we're going to be in the kitchen a whole lot, and I can't wait to show you that. So you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and for listening, and I hope that you have an awesome day. Thank you guys. Bye.